Greetings everyone, Danny here and welcome to episode 11 of the Ask Reddit series. In today's episode, we're reading the comments to the question, what could you talk about for 30 minutes straight without any preparation? This question was asked by twilighterror and all the credits go to that person. I hope you enjoyed today's video, let's go! Fragrances. Did you know one of the most natural substances is a fragrance ingredient and costs between 30 and 40,000 US dollars a liter? What? It's harvested from trees that have a certain fungal infection. The thing is, when people try to establish farms and inoculate trees themselves, the aroma isn't the same and is judged in blind studies as lower quality. Gender for fragrance is mostly a 20th century construct. However, when people sniff certain women's fragrances from the 1930s and compare them to men's fragrances from the current era, they label the gender backwards. Certain fragrances for women smell more masculine than today's scents, and vice versa. The concept of a clean, fresh fragrance is widely different in the US, France, Dubai, and Japan. Smells in fragrances are called notes. Some occur naturally, others are man-made. Leather smells are man-made. Whale vomit uses to act as a fixative and change the aroma of fragrances. What? My price for the ingredient was low, currently at 100k US dollars per kilo. That's a lot more than 40k. Yo, hold on. Well, whale vomit uses to act as a fixative and change the aroma of... I cannot unknow. Guitar history. Not the history of guitar music, but the instrument itself. I could also just go and on and on and on about different models. I'm like the Mona Lisa Vito of guitars. I have a pretty good career right now, but sometimes I daydream about just leaving it all behind to go work in some boutique guitar shop somewhere. Thanks for all the comments and the gold, you're all super sweet. Interesting episodes of my life. I'm 77. Can you give the chapter names of your autobiography? This sounds like the interview questions of my nightmares. The poop from farm animals and what plants the manure is best for. I grew up on a farm. If I pass a field that's been spread with manure, I can smell what animal it came from. By the way, chicken manure smells the worst. Looks like you know your shit. His name checks out though. Love it. The behavior of street birds, like literally birds. That is not an euphemism. For example, pigeons bob their heads at approximately 150 beats per minute. So if you watch them walk while listening to hardstyle or drum and bass, they look like they're raving out. I'm listening, tell me more. Ooh, we got a big boy post here, boys. Big, thick post. Okay, enough of that. Let's read it. Also, pigeons are really stupid. You can't just give them a peanut. They pick it up, throw it down, and move on. If you want to give a pigeon a peanut, you have to shell it and give them the actual nut pieces. Same with ducks, and ducks love peanuts. Corn too, but they become your insta best friend if you give them peanuts. I had one eating directly out of my hand recently, and then it followed me all over the park. Super cute. Herons will never get close to you, they're too nervous. And they love garbage. All birds seem to love garbage. Most corvids would get closer and closer depending on how much they trust you. Crows are easiest to gain trust with. Then in order, it seems to be jackdaws, ravens, magpies, blue jays. Magpies seems to have really supportive family groups. The whole flock will look after the nest, for example. Pretty neat. Almost any bird will approach you if you sit calmly and offer it occasional food. Corn is a big hit, by the way. Peanuts are much easier because it's not like they go bad in your pockets, but if you're intentionally going out to be a bird friend, you should definitely bring a bag of corn. Birds go crazy for that shit. Definitely don't bring bread. Most importantly, it is bad for birds, but also they actually like other foods more, except lettuce. No bird has ever accepted lettuce offerings. Stop offering birds lettuce. They peck at it and then move on. Lettuce is a joke to them apparently. Am I a joke to you? Consistency is good too. I always say hi bird when I see a bird, then throw down a peanut, cause again the corn is just for targeted bird friend making journeys. Not all birds are smart enough, but there's some local birds that get it by now. They'll even fly along with me on my walk, waiting for more food drops. You can't do this in Paris, by the way. Apparently it is illegal to feed birds, so don't go to Paris. Who wants 2 4-hour lines? And you can't even make friends with birds. Oh yeah, back to the first point. Corvids understand peanuts. They will hold the shelled peanuts with one foot and then peck into the shell to get the nut. These nuts? And they understand what's up too. If you have a crow or whatever that seems to sorta be looking, you can toss the peanut down and they'll come to grab it. And with this knowledge, I'll be walking around the streets now, and you can call me Bird Whisperer. Anyone? Okay, I'll show myself out. Languages. It's quite ironic considering nobody talks to me in real life. Sad emoji face. Hey dude, I'll talk to you. Hit me up on Reddit and we'll have a conversation about languages. Basics of anti-money laundering and counter-terrorism financing. Ah yes, tell me more so I can give notes to my make sure I employ safe and legal banking practices at my small business. Big boy post incoming, folks. Sorry peeps, I was asleep. Here it is. AML is responsible for detecting, analyzing and reporting suspicious activities that may be connected with money laundering. These activities include financial crimes but also other illegal activities with financial return, e.g. drug trafficking, exploitation of prostitution, counterfeit, tax evasion. To detect these activities, need to understand the expected patterns for businesses and compare with their actual behavior. Does it make sense? Do they lose money regularly and on purpose? Who ends up with the money? Several methods are used to launder money, such as traditional banking systems, gambling, crypto and virtual currencies, precious metals, stones, artifacts, cash-heavy businesses. Money laundering is a closed loop. The money will eventually go back to the original owner, though he may lose quite a bit in the process. Counter-terrorist financing is responsible for stopping the flow of funds that finance all activities related to terrorism. Money can have different origins, both legal, profits of business, donations, sale of goods, and illegal, extortion, kidnapping, stealing, robbing, arms and drug trafficking. Money is used for a variety of reasons, from recruitment, clothes, shelter, training, communication, tech, intelligence, transportation, and bombs and weapons. But wait, there's more! When people donate money items, it is necessary to check the reasons why. Do they believe it's a genuine charity or good cause? Or are they aware and choosing to support? Again, unusual patterns are what can help detecting it. Selling winter tires in Arizona. For foreign fighters, it's necessary to look at what caused them to join it and how they can be reintroduced to society before they act or after prison. Money in this case is an arrow. It goes from the donors, supporters, all the way up to central decision makers, to then be distributed among the local cells. There are instances of corruption in the chain, but usually they are rare because they are invested in the cause. Hope this was interesting. My very first gold. Thank you, kind stranger. Well dude, this was very interesting, thank you. Why torque is more important than horsepower. This man knows how to buy a quality vibrator. BigfootTouchedMe. I love your names. I love both of your names. Literally nothing. Not even my own job. Now I'm sad. Social media manipulation and how I think it's the biggest threat to modern democracy there is, specifically as it relates to Reddit. I'd like to hear more about your theory of why Reddit is worse. Social media manipulation is a topic also quite interested in. My only real experience with social media is Reddit, which is why it's the only platform I can speak on. Reddit experienced the worst social media manipulation during the last election cycle when the front page was regularly spammed with upvote manipulated content and nothing was done. We later found out through federal investigation that it was geopolitically motivated manipulation experienced across all major platforms. It's not just about political manipulation though. Shortly after that died down, you had the 21st Century Fox, now Disney, with the Deadpool release. I like how you spell Deadpool. They really pioneered disguise advertisement, posts meant to look like they were organically voted to the top by real users. You can read more about that here. Then you had the PR teams of individual actors abusing the same manipulation mechanics. Think Brendan Fraser, C. Pratt, and now Keanu Reeves. You have the social media and marketing teams of companies like Marvel Studios doing the same thing. I can go into detail about how exactly the content is pushed out and the mechanics of preloaded bot one-liners and account manager defenders work, but I'm trying not to go on about it for half an hour. The only real solution I can see is human tests for voting, commenting and posting, but that will not happen without regulation and oversight. That seems to be a very far way off. That's a great post. Nice. Why my husband is wrong and I am right. Good one. Star Wars prequel references and how to get upvotes with them. This is where the fun begins. Anything. I'm a Jedi in the art of bullshitting. Could you tell me what the airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow is? This crazy old man has me stopped at the bridge and says that I may die if I don't give him the proper answer. What do you mean, African or European swallow? Why I have come to dislike the Harry Potter books. Without going into it too much, the two biggest ones are, I think the magic system is terrible and causes issues with the plot. Harry rarely succeeds on his own merits, and his Deus Ex Machina too often. Ooh, I know someone who is going to be commenting first on my video who is going to go ragey on your arguments. Oh boy, I can't wait for this. Anyway, this is the end of today's episode. I hope you liked and enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel as it greatly helps me out. And I'll see you all tomorrow.